any damage done. Could have been a lot worse, I think, this. Yeah, got away with that one. He's competed very well. I don't think he's played as well as he could do, but he's competed well, Delu. He's clearly still going for his shots and still believes he can cause what would be an upset here. And he's got himself back from 4-1 down to just 4-3. So a tense couple of frames, and then I'm sure a tense afternoon tomorrow ahead of us. Mark King 4-3 up now on Luca Brissell. Another tense one there on the live streaming. Well, what a confident pot that was. And it couldn't have worked out much better, really.
Ace. Nine.
Well, Stephen Hendry, I think, would be glad of any lead now, coming back tomorrow, 5-4, 6-3, whatever it is. But to achieve that, there's a big half hour or so coming up for him. His form has not been great all afternoon. It's not been terrible either. He's played well in patches, and at other times he's just made the odd key mistake here and there.
15. $60.
His fellow veterans, Steve Davis and Jimmy White, failed to get through the previous round. They're the two oldest players on the tour. Steve is 54, Jimmy 50 in May, Hendry 43.
23.
Possible to predict really how much longer he's going to remain on the tour, but if he is going to remain on the tour, of course he's got to play in all these tournaments now. A lot of new events. The PTCs may be more popular with some of the younger players than the established
29.
ones, because Hendry, I guess, doesn't need to be slogging around week in, week out to play the tournaments, but he's going to have to keep his world ranking. John Higgins told me the other day that he's considering not playing in the first couple of tournaments of the new season because they clash with the summer holidays for his the school holidays for his kids. But in with Hendry's world ranking, he can't afford that luxury. He's going to have to play in pretty much everything.
37.
Otherwise, he will slip down. So it's about desire. Does he want to do it? And if he does, then he might get some results. If not, if he takes his foot off the gas, he may struggle. I think the bottom right red of the cluster pots to this left corner. Well, you can see from that angle that it does. A nice break here, and he's back in the driving seat again. 5-3 with a chance for 6-3 overnight.
45.
Just got to seal the deal, really.
46.
Well, it's his fourth half century of the match. Highest break so far from Stephen Hendry of 64 in the second frame.
$54.
Now then, a tester. This black, not as easy as it could have been. Missable, particularly as he's slightly hampered by the red. See what he's always done, flicking his eyes to the pocket. And the black scene, it's a good pot that, because he was under a little bit of pressure there. He knew that could well be key to this frame. So he leads by 61.
61.
A couple of reds with colours, and that should be enough.
$62.
This is
69.
Effectively frame ball to leave Delu needing a snooker. Been a good break this, I think, having lost the last two. It's noticeable that he left the arena between frames. Now, he may have been answering a call of nature, of course, but possibly as well, just to psych himself up and refocus, which is what he needed to do, and it seems to be what he has done. Are we going to see a Stephen Hendry century here?
76.
Of course, the highest break so far, that 147 by Robert Milkins.
$77.
Milkins 6-3 down, though, to Mark Davis this morning. The thing about Hendry, he's always wanted centuries. Some players have, when they've got to this sort of stage, have just sort of bashed the balls about, wanting to get on with the next frame. But Hendry has that relentless attitude that, I guess it's perfection, really. Got to clear up, got to pot everything and really make your opponent wait for the next frame to start. Well, he's certainly queuing well now. This is more like it from Stephen Hendry.
$87. $88.
Yes, delightful.
95.
Memories of the golden decade where he bestrode snooker
96.
like the colossus that he was. The 1990s, when he won his 7 world titles. I was working at the Crucible in 1999 when he won his 7th, and he played, in my opinion, as well as anyone has ever played to win that tournament. He had a tough opponent in every round, but it was just that determination
103.
that shone through, and he broke the modern day record. And here's He's made this century in really confident fashion.
109.
Just seems to be playing, I would term it Jekyll and Hyde snooker at the moment, Stephen Hendry. He starts matches well, he loses a bit of focus, and then all of a sudden you get this.
140.
If he could just cut out the inconsistency, which seems to come after a few frames, he's still a major force in the game.
180.
But how do you do that? Don't know whether it's a technical thing, whether it's a mental thing, which would seem more likely. But if you can make breaks like this, you remain a match for anyone.
123. 129 in the frame.
Content not to play for the black. 129 from Stephen Hendry, a vintage century. Puts him 5-3 up, but it means, of course, he's guaranteed a lead when they return tomorrow with one frame to come here this afternoon.